Brown eyes, nature's original sunglasses. Picture the first humans chasing dinner under a sky that forgot how to blink. No shades, no hat, just a whole lot of sun trying to photobomb your vision. Who keeps seeing clearly? The folks with coffee-colored superpowers. Melanin steps up like the world's chillest bouncer. Too bright? Not tonight. It doesn't throw light back in a glitter show. It quietly absorbs the glare so you can actually spot the gazelle and not become the menu. These eyes were engineered for survival near the equator. Think heat, haze, horizon, and they still flex today. Most of humanity rocks brown, not because it's trendy, but because it works. It's the all-terrain tire of eye colors, reliable on open savannas, bleachers at noon games, or that brutal office window seat you swore was great natural light. And the vibe? Brown eyes read like a sealed letter. Calm, grounded, a little unreadable on purpose. Lighter eyes might sparkle, brown eyes smolder. But catch them at golden hour, candlelight, campfire, late afternoon sun, and they warm up to amber, cinnamon, even honey. Not a color change, more like a reveal. So, yes, brown eyes are everywhere. But that's the plot twist. The most common color is also the most battle-tested. It's the quiet MVP of human vision. Less fireworks, more focus. Evolution didn't pick the flashiest eyes. It picked the ones that keep you alive and on target. And honestly, that's pretty hot. Blue eyes. Sky you can wear. They don't hold color so much as play a magic trick. With less melanin in the iris, light dives in, scatters around, and bounces back looking blue. Same physics party the atmosphere throws at sunset, just closer to your face. It's not dye, it's optics. Like frosted glass that turns a plain bulb into a halo. Out in the wild, blue eyes are spotlight magnets. Overcast afternoon? They go full glacier. Shade under a tree? Suddenly, deep lake. Step into noon sun and yeah, you might squint first. That lighter iris lets more brightness through, so sunglasses aren't a fashion choice. They're a survival plan. But dim the lights and watch them sip glow from candles and street signs like they've got night mode turned on. The vibe reads different too. Brown eyes smolder, blue eyes spark. They give electric even when you're standing still. They can be soft as sea glass 1 minute and steel cold the next when the clouds move. That's the fun. Not a color change, a mood swing written in photons. Rarer worldwide, sure, but that's part of the theater. Blue eyes arrive with a little built-in drama, the optical equivalent of a drum fill. No promises, no personality tests, just a clever design that turns light itself into style. Evolution didn't put paint in them. It gave them a filter. And a good filter can make anything look legendary. Green eyes, the plot twist. They look like someone mixed forest and lightning and said, "Don't tell anyone." Not neon, not loud. Just that quiet, charged green that makes people do double takes at bus stops and candlelit dinners. Here's the trick. They're built on a knife edge. A precise recipe, just enough melanin to keep things grounded, a whisper of yellow pigment to tint the return light, and lots of internal scatter to stir it all together. Tip the mix and they drift brown. Pull it back and they drift blue. Hold the balance and boom, green. That's why they feel alive under changing skies. Shade makes them brood. Bright sun turns them brighter. Indoors, they borrow the room's mood like adaptive camouflage. Same eyes, new story, every time the light moves. Culturally, they've always carried rumor. Witches in the woods, trickster gods, the friend who knows the secret but won't say it yet. Maybe it's the rarity. Maybe it's the way they refuse to be one thing. Either way, green eyes don't shout for attention. They let attention find them. So if brown eyes are the all-terrain classic and blue eyes are the optical illusion, green eyes are the glitch that got promoted to legend. Engineered at the edge of possible and somehow making unlikely look effortless. Hazel eyes, the shapeshifter. They don't pick a lane, they build a roundabout. A warm gold at the center, a swirl of green at the edges, maybe a hint of copper if the light's feeling dramatic. It's like someone stirred honey into a forest and said, yeah, what's going on under the hood? A gradient. More melanin near the pupil. Hello, amber ring. Less toward the rim, cue the leafy green. Plus enough internal scatter to remix whatever light you throw at them. Result? The mood ring effect. Morning coffee by a window? They lean green. Golden hour? They glow like fresh apple cider. Club lights? Suddenly sparkles and secrets. Hazel energy reads like mischief with good intentions. They're the improv actors of irises. Adapt, pivot, steal the scene, slip back into neutral the second you look away. Not because they're trying, because that's just how they're built. Common enough to feel familiar, rare enough to feel like a plot point. Hazel doesn't announce itself. It reveals itself. One glance for the gold, a second for the green, a third because you're still not sure how it did that. Amber eyes. Bottled sunlight. They don't just catch light, they steep it. Think warm honey with a spark from a struck match. Not brown, not hazel, not gold jewelry. More like a tiny campfire where your pupils are the coals. You glance, and there's that flicker. Quiet, concentrated. A glow you feel before you can name. Under the hood, it's melanin turned to amber syrup. Enough pigment to mute the glare, not so much that it swallows the shine. So they thrive on warmth. Candlelight makes them look molten. Late afternoon, they go full caramel. Even a boring desk lamp turns them into a soft ember. Cold blue fluorescence might try to flatten them, but give them one warm beam and they wake right back up. The vibe? Confident without the exclamation points. Where blue eyes crackle and green eyes plot, amber eyes prowl. Steady, aware, and a little untamed. There's a reason storytellers keep putting them on shapeshifters and folk heroes. They read like a promise. Calm now, fire later. Rare enough to feel like an Easter egg. Unmistakable when you see them. Amber eyes don't chase attention. They magnetize it. Not flashy, not loud, just a slow burn signal that keeps glowing after you've already looked away. Gray eyes, weather you can wear. They don't shout a color, they forecast one. Low melanin, lots of scatter, and suddenly your irises act like storm glass, picking up whatever the sky or your sweater is doing. Overcast morning? Steel? Forest trail? A wash of moss? Neon sign outside the diner? Silver with a pulse. In bright sun, they can look icy, sharp, reflective, almost metallic. That same openness to light means you'll squint before the brown-eyed crowd does. Sunglasses aren't vanity here, they're strategy. Dim the room and they soften to smoke, like fog rolling over a lake at dawn. The vibe is quiet voltage. Blue eyes spark, green eyes scheme, gray eyes calculate. They read cool and composed until a laugh cracks them wide and you catch the glint. They don't pop so much as pull you in the way a monochrome photo makes you lean closer. Rarity helps the mystique, sure, but the real magic is how they collaborate with light. Put them in knitwear and they're cozy graphite. Under city rain, they're slate with reflections. At golden hour, they borrow a whisper of amber and pretend they planned it. Gray eyes don't chase drama. They let the world bring it to them. Red eyes, the rumor that learned physics. Not demon, not vampire, just optics turned inside out. With almost no melanin in the iris, the front window goes translucent and light bounces off the back of the eye where tiny blood vessels live. That reflection leaks through and, bam, ruby glow. It's not paint, it's anatomy showing its wiring. That's why camera red eye happens too. A blunt flash ricochets off that same vascular backdrop and sprints straight back into the lens. In real life, it reads softer, more rose than stop sign, until a sudden spotlight makes it flare like a signal. The trade-off for the glow is sensitivity. Less pigment means more brightness gets in, so daylight can feel like a stadium. Sunglasses aren't attitude here, they're armor. Give these eyes warm light and they look embered, almost cozy. Cold fluorescence? They blanch to a pale, uncanny pink and dare the room to get interesting. Eyes aren't just colors, they're stories told in light. If one of these sounded like yours, drop your eye color and the wildest compliment you've gotten in the comments. If you learned something new, tap like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.